I said, you don't want to mess with Zareth, 'cause Zareth. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're going to talk about 5v5 because it's right around the corner. It's our favorite child, so to speak. We all have it. It's 5v5. Clearly not 3v3. Actually, I still do like 3v3, but 5v5 I've been enjoying a lot more than I used to. I don't know. You just switch sometimes. Sometimes your favorite changes, guys. If one of your kids is not behaving. I don't want to take this metaphor too far, and actually I don't have a favorite with my children. So, what do you know? What do you think? Anyways, guys, we don't have a collaboration today. Normally we do this video right before the new GAC season with someone, but don't have one, and so Wicket can collaborate with Leia in whatever way they so choose, and we'll collaborate, you and I. Let's figure out what the best teams for offense are in 5v5. Let's go to the game. Whoa, we're in the game? Madness. How'd we get in the actual game? This is crazy. Okay, so we're doing offense teams today, folks. Might be a couple days till we get to the defensive teams. Not really sure exactly what the schedule is going to be. I want to make a general Grievous video soon, and that might be for tomorrow. So, one way or another, once that's out, it will be in the video description, linked, and it might even be linked before it's released, so we can all chuckle at people in the comments who say, hey, the link to your defensive squads or teams video is not working. We can all be like, oh, you didn't listen. But I think most of you do listen, frankly. So here's the thing. Offensive teams, they change over time. They get relegated from defense to offense to the bench. And so, except for Wampa. Wampa's the most obviously offensive character in the game because he can't be placed on defense. Not with a team, or not without a team, and he's so good with a team. So, with this Omicron, it's one of the best Omicrons in the game, folks, just because he can take out Galactic Legends, potentially, if he can threaten. Here's the thing about Wampa. He's a good tactical choice to put an Omicron on because it changes what your opponent can place on defense. Now, if you're going for like top 100 in GAC, your opponents will probably place a defense that can't be Wampa'd. If you're going for like Kyber 3 or Kyber 2, maybe even lower Kyber 1, your opponent probably doesn't have a big enough roster or maybe doesn't know how to defend against Wampa in 5v5. 3v3, there's no defense against Wampa. He's going to eat something. In 5v5, he can, like, I usually don't get to use him on offense, except if I mess up and he needs to clean something up, but he does restrict what your opponent places on defense. Now, Iden Versio used to be a team that you'd be put on defense a lot, especially if you didn't have to worry about your opponent's Wampa for one reason or another. However, now that Admiral Raddus is out, he's like a direct counter. He's one of the most natural counters to Iden possible. It's like every time an Imperial gains bonus turn meter, then Adrad dazes them passively. It's a huge mess. And so I don't know exactly, like, will Adrad actually beat this team, or will he time out on it when it's on defense? I'm not sure, but the thing is, guys, there's a few different things. So Wampa beats most Iden teams unless Iden can stun him initially. So you want to load Wampa up with a lot of tenacity. But keep in mind now, with Datacrons and the way everything's working, Datacrons will make it so that Iden can have a huge amount of potency more than Wampa can have tenacity. So it's a whole mess. Datacrons change things up. The other thing, however, to keep in mind with Iden, guys, on offense, especially this season, is she gains 100% bonus turn meter, which means she's able to go before all these light side teams that gain plus 25% turn meter at the start from the datacrons. She still gets to go first. She gets to laugh in their faces, assuming they have faces. I know this is a weird Star Wars land, and some things just don't have faces. That we just have to come to grips with that, guys. It's just the reality. So she laughs though. She maniacally laughs, raucously laughs in their faces, and she does an enormous amount of damage. In fact, I don't have potency on her. I just put offense-ish things, like, I want her to do a lot of damage, and I want to push that damage as much as I can. So the team here is the team that it is. She really wants Stormtrooper instead of Shore Trooper. If she can get both, that's fine, but Shore Trooper usually has other places. She wants this team because the Veers team is going to be this composition in general. Now, Stark, there's a decent argument for Stark to go with Iden sometimes, and sometimes you want Death Trooper to go with Veers if you want to take out like a Darth Revan team with Nest on it, for instance. Now, this Veers Trooper team is in a weird place right now, guys. I would not be surprised to see it kind of just disintegrate or just sit on the bench for a long, or in a little bit, because the teams that they used to have a really good advantage against, they kind of just don't anymore. It's like, so Darth Revan now against a lot of people are going to have Malgus. Malgus is going to stop them cold, because if the Talon is on the team, then Malgus is going to pre-taunt, and they're going to shoot Malgus, and that's going to be a mess because Talon is going to give the whole team turn meter, and then the Sith Empire team is going to rip their faces off, assuming faces are present. So here's this team. It's also a weird one this season. I think we're going to see record numbers of people not using it, because there's also a ton of light side teams that they can beat, but if the light side teams have the bonus turn meter, they can't go first usually, because 25% bonus turn meter is enough to transcend even a really fast Piet, or even a really fast Gideon for that matter, a lot of times. So Gideon might be used instead of Stark as the character to bridge. Make your Gideon super fast. Remember, he gets plus 20 speed from Veers. My Gideon would be like 403 base speed, something like that. So keep that in mind. The troopers are really good and efficient. I don't know, like they might just be used to clean up Lord Vader now if you fail against him. So anyways, next one. So we're pretending like we don't have Galactic Legends today, guys. I didn't really say that in this take. I've done a couple takes because I'm trying to make this video shorter, which is laughable. I doubt I'm going to make this under 20 minutes. We'll see. You guys know the answer to that, but I don't. It's a mystery. It's exciting for me. I'm wasting time. So we have Maul with Mandos. I like Watt here, especially if he's not babysitting Sith Eternal, because Maul starts with Frenzy, and of course when any character on his team uses a special, then it triggers Frenzy, and Maul gets a turn. And then Canderous, so he does his AoE, gets his 2 more stacks of Anguish. Canderous assists, he gets a bunch of bonus turn meter. He does his AoE, and then Maul gets to just go to town on something. Now, against a weaker General Skywalker team, this team is money. It is so magic. It is amazing. It can still work against higher relic General Skywalker, but you need to have your Maul really high relic and really well modded. Lots of offense set mods, not just the health garbage that some people are doing like me. Health or protection. Protection is even worse. It's great if he's with Lord Vader. If he's not with Lord Vader, however, then he struggles. So Lord Vader doesn't always need Maul, especially if Lord Vader is on offense. Maul then can run on offense as well. I'm considering just modding Maul to be pure offense, to be honest, just to make him a little more versatile. But having Jango around, so you're going to be facing General Skywalker teams with stun crons sometimes. And the awesome thing about having Watt here is you can put the shield tech on one of these Mandos, and then whoever's taunting is going to also shake off any stuns, and Maul isn't going to be stunned either because of his Anguish. So you're kind of, in a way, immune to their stun effect. It's a very strong team against General Skywalker, very strong team against a lot of things. You can put the weapons tech on Maul to make him permanently kill like characters from the Mon Mothma team, etc. Very strong team on offense. On defense, case, it can be countered by things like just nest and things. So generally going to advise people to take, well, I mean, this team is probably not going to lose to just nest. Probably nest just times out if Bo-Katan's on it, but anyways, this team is way better on offense, in my opinion. So you can put Bam, Beskar Mando on the Maul team, or you can put Beskar Mando with your bounty hunters to kind of like counter Lord Vader, especially if you have the new Datacron, where he's able to just put out his damage immunity every single turn. You could do that. Of course, Fennec would be on the Bounty Hunter team if you did that. To kind of mix and match. This is the team I'm the most comfortable with. This team used to take down Darth Revan teams. Now with Darth Malgus, I'm guessing it's not going to work because you're going to load his turn meter a lot with Talon, because he's going to pre-taunt. You're going to have to shoot him, and then he's going to gain turn meter. He's going to do the same thing he did to the faces of those Imperial Troopers. So and Zam has like 2 or more faces, so it's even bigger mess. You need the Omicron on Zam. Remember that you need your boss to be 1 speed faster than Greef to take advantage of his frenzy. He taunts, Greef does his mass assist, boss gets a bonus turn from the frenzy, or gains 100% turn meter, rather. They're different, they're distinct. And then Bosk is able to do his mass assist. Mando needs to be clocked so that he's slower than both of them. Those two need to do their tandem thing before Mando gets a turn, so he can get a disintegrate immediately right out the gate. So this team will still take out a lot of medium grade teams, like a lot of Beskar Mando teams. He'll be able to take out, if you're faster than a dash team, then you could probably take out a lot of dash teams. Remember to assassinate or to shoot Vander Chewie first if that's an option, because otherwise he'll just revive. I mean, I guess against a Vander Chewie, or against a Dash team without Han and Chewie, he could just take out Dash and then take out Vander Chewie later. Take out the biggest threat, one way or another. This team is very versatile, really strong, has a lot of different forms. You guys have seen me in my various videos do things. Okay, so CLS will actually address later. Jawas, they're super fun. They are a huge mess. You need someone to keep them alive. Typically, you want like Stormtrooper Han or Barriss on the team, and they'll take down like a Mon Mothma team. This is a good team to work on the side, folks, and then you can leave out like either Dathcha or Jawa. I've never gotten a definitive answer which one is better for this team if you're going to put a better leader down, like Barriss, like I said, and then make sure your scavenger is as tanky as hell. Did you guys know that hell is tanky? I didn't until just now either, but it is, and scavenger needs to try to emulate that. So yeah, Barriss, Stormtrooper Han, you could probably find some other cool tank to do it as well, and they just blow up the enemy team, who takes a lot of bonus turns. It's really neat. It's also a mess. It's like a desperation move is what it really is. Or it's just like, hey, it's pure joyride. Now, General Grievous is a team. You can either do General Grievous with Newt, General Grievous with BB-8. I guess there's a couple other variants, but those are my 2 favorites. BB-8 with General Grievous makes my Grievous. He's 270 speed with all health and all that, with a lot of potency. But then with BB-8, it makes him 450 speed, which outspeeds all Mara Jades out there, I believe, and which means you can get your turn meter train started early, and you can take out Starkiller teams. You can also take out Commander Luke teams if you use Newt. I have a bunch of videos on that as well. And this team is just so versatile on offense, guys. You think that you're gonna lose a lot of banners. You're always gonna drop like 2. But then otherwise, it's not that inefficient. I mean, if you mess up, it's like every team. If you mess up, it's going to be inefficient anyways. But otherwise, this team is actually very, very efficient, because B1 gets all of his health and protection banners. Grievous usually ends with full health and protection. Newt can do the same. These two, you're usually missing some protection. Though if you time it right, sometimes B1 can heal their protection a little bit too. Very, very good team on offense. Highly recommended you keep them on offense. Otherwise, Wampa just destroys this team, or Mon Mothma destroys it, or any number of other teams. I mean, there's a ton of counters. That's one of the videos. That's what the video I'm going to make next is, in fact, is about Grievous. Now, Starkiller on offense is really good, because it takes out a lot of different Galactic Legends. If you want to take out a Supreme Leader Kylo team, you probably need Vader here instead of Emperor Palpatine, but it's a very strong team, folks. Like if you do Kylo Ren unmasked and Vader. And Vader does Merciless Massacre every time he does a basic. Starkiller hits. Starkiller can also take down Rey teams. He can take down Jedi Master Luke teams. He can do all sorts of things. He can sing and dance as well, though you're probably not going to see it in this game. He does a lot of cool stuff, and on offense, you wait till the Star Destroyer of Healing comes down. Everyone survives. Just have to learn how to do it. Very, very strong team. Even with Datacrons, he can still take out a lot of different teams, even with Datacrons being around. Now, we have the team that counters Supreme Leader Kylo here. I have Mace instead of Old Ben. I don't know if I have him modded right. I'm going to have to look at that. But Mace also makes that, he Mace that counter really strong as well. I mean, it takes out a lot of teams as well. This is a really great team against like Dash Han Chu. That works really well. And because if they trigger your savior, you get a bonus turn and you're immediately able to shut them down. It's a pretty cool team. They have a lot of good recovery with Revan and his protection. A lot of fun stuff. And Mace makes it actually a little bit more secure than Old Ben in a lot of ways. Mon Mothma, man, this season is going to be a lot of fun in 5v5. I've seen videos of her taking down full Rey teams if you have the right Datacron, and if you can't, like this team takes out so many things. Like as long as you can get your feet under you and really start the turn meter train, this team keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And especially if you have the Datacron, like I anticipate taking out some things this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely, you could put it on defense, though there are a lot of things like the Jawa team could probably just kill it. So at the top end, most people have Jawas. Also, Iden Versio takes this out really easily. So I would recommend just keeping it for offense because it is super versatile and you get a lot of banners for it. This is the comp that's the best. If you want to replace Kara with Biston, that's probably best. Now we have Darth Traya and company with Barriss and Sith Empire Trooper because we have a different use for Talon right now. This team will take down a lot of teams that take a lot of turns. Don't really like it against Mon Mothma. Usually you need Barriss to help you there. Otherwise, you just time out. Barriss ends up killing all of the Mon Mothma team, ironically, if you do that. And if Kyle doesn't just one-shot her, like the horrible person she is. But Sith Empire Trooper is really good. If you can get the Datacron for him, I mean, that's not the priority, but that would make him a little bit more versatile as well. Pretty good team, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, they can even take down the ads for Lord Vader. If you build them the right way, you probably want Talon to be there if you want to do that. So, I mean, a lot of good stuff against like Dash teams. Lots of more relics, guys. You think that she's fine at Relic 3. She wants lots of relics if possible. And then probably Datacrons with defense. I'm excited to see how tanky she's gonna be. Now we have the Brood, the Geos. They clean things up these days. That's basically it. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on them. Now we have Commander Luke and the various iterations. So you can take this team if you have the Datacron for him. You probably just want to take Commander Luke. Frankly, it's a very good team. But you can also, if you wanted to mess with your opponents, you can fragment the team a little bit. So here are the ideas I had for that. And so I would do Akbar on offense most likely, though you can put it on defense because Nest isn't going to counter a team. You need the Omicron on Akbar. If you don't have it, then don't bother with this. But Commander Luke can stop Nest from soloing this team, and so can C-3PO. All of this team combined. On offense, though, you're going to get a lot of banners, and you're going to be able to take out a lot of teams very efficiently. You gain a ton of turn meter. It's really fun team, guys. I highly recommend you at least checking out some of the videos of it, because they just keep going and going and going. In 3s, you can kill so much with them. At 3s, they hit their stride like crazy. In 5s, I'm still experimenting with them. So if you put Luke and 3PO with this team, then you can put Dash, you can put Han and Chewie with Dash. Remember that Kuiil gives 40% of his offense number to them. Dash gives another 20% offense, so Han is going to be hitting like a damn truck. This team is going to keep getting a lot of turn meter because of Kuiil, and because Dash does a lot of cool stuff and gives them a lot of turn meter. This is a really fun team, and even, you know, you don't need, you can use your Dash without needing all of the Scoundrel team, like without all the other stuff. Like, you know, you don't need Vander, Chewie, or L3 is what I'm trying to say. And then finally you have Chupio. You can put them with a Sortie team. So I put Dash on defense most likely, and then Sortie also on defense because like Wampa may be able, frankly, might be able to counter this, might be able to solo it, but also if the wrong thing happens and BB-8 puts tenacity down at the wrong time, then you could potentially just get healing immunity on Wampa, and you can blind him so he's not countering, and you know, that you can just finish him off, in fact. So, you know, this team on defense is pretty good, and if they don't have Wampa, because they already ate your Iden, or you want to have them use their Wampa on you, you can actually mod Sortie a certain way to be able to make it so that Wampa, she's mostly Wampa resistant. So, just certain things to keep in mind, folks. You know, this is one version of the team. There's a lot of droid teams. Just don't put Separatists with her. And finally, I mean, I put these Ewoks down. I'm not going to use them, frankly, guys. Unless you have the Omicron on Chirpa, probably not that usable unless you are in a lower division, which is fine. I'm going to be making a video for you guys specifically soon, but Chirpa and company, I mean, they'll eat you, but also don't put them on defense. They're an offense team. So they finish off lone Grievouses, and otherwise they like long walks on the bench. That's where they belong. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what teams you like. Hit that thumbs up button, help me mount the algorithm, you know, make a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, ding the bell if you want notifications for that defensive teams video, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.